Wally Long. Lessons. Lessons, Wally Long.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
You're welcome.
I was in a terrible, dark place in life. I was surrounded by darkness and pressure. Then the day came, that pressure grew so intense, it was nearly unbearable. It was as if I were sliding down a pitch black tunnel with no end in sight. When would this nightmare be over? And then I was born. On the day of my birth, I began a journey that has lasted until now. It's a journey all of us travel. It's a journey of living and learning. In the early years of my journey, I learned how to crawl, walk, and talk. My journey took me into school, where I learned that I was not the center of the universe. What? And apparently I didn't learn that lesson very well because I've been working at it for the last 60 years. I continued my journey through school and college, where I met and married the love of my life. 3 years later, my journey had me facing the daunting task of fatherhood. And wanting to be the best father I could be, I read every single book I could get my hands on about being a dad. Our precious daughter was born. I began to apply my newly acquired vast wealth of knowledge into raising children, and I was good at it. Matter of fact, I was so good, when my daughter was a toddler and was disobedient, all I needed to make her obey was the look. If you're a parent, you know the look, right? Yes, Daddy. I was good, all right. Then 3 years later, my oldest son was born. And where my daughter was the sweet little angel, my son was not. When he became a toddler, I tried the look. What? Son, if you do, what, Dad? Son, if you do that again, I had no idea what to do with this difficult child. Until I learned that children are different from one another. Imagine that. And they often require a different approach in raising and training them. So I adapted my parenting skills to this difficult child, and I continued to adapt them through the rest of our 8 children. Yeah, and I learned how made that happen too. I kind of like it. As we travel our journey of living and learning, we learn different lessons in different ways and at different times. And there are times for all of us when our journey finds us in great hardship. And the lessons we learn there change everything. That's where I found myself on March 1st, 2011, when my brother and his wife were murdered. They were shot and killed by their own 12-year-old son. The shock, the pain, and the confusion I felt are beyond description. Just a few days after the incident, I had this unexplainable yet overwhelming urge that I must go visit my nephew in the prison where he was being held. I did not want to go. In fact, I fought the idea all through a long and sleepless night. But when morning came, I called and made the arrangements. As I sat across from my nephew, who just days before had gone on a murderous rampage, a battle line was drawn in my soul. On one side of that battle line was anger, hatred, and bitterness screaming at me to take the path of justice and vengeance. On the other side of that battle line was love, grace, and mercy, whispering that I choose the path of forgiveness and healing. When the visit was over, with tears streaming down my face, I hugged my nephew. I'm still your uncle, no matter what. And with that simple act, my journey took me down a difficult and heart-wrenching path where I learned to forgive one who had caused so much pain to so many people. And I learned the power of that forgiveness to bring healing to those same people. We are all on a journey of living and learning. We learn different lessons in different ways and at different times. Some of the lessons we learn are easy. We learn them once and we're done. Other lessons we learn, then we have to relearn them over and over and over and over again throughout life. Other lessons we learn, then we must adapt what we learn to the changing circumstances of life. And then some lessons we learn change the very course of life. You will have lessons to learn in the good times and in the bad, in tragedy and in triumph, in happiness and in heartache. No matter where your journey takes you, you will have lessons to learn. Because this journey we call life is all about living and learning. Contest chair.